Dr. Ratzinger, Dr. Ratzinger, Dr. Ratzinger.
Yes, good evening to our friend Noel Gallagher. How are you, Noel?
Even though.
All right, mate. All right.
I'm led to believe, by inside information, that you're talking to us with your 1950s MCFC tracksuit top on with hood.
What?
Like Pellegrini wears. Have you got one of those?
Oh. No, I haven't, no. No, yeah, he's going a bit urban, didn't
Yeah, what's all that about?
he? I don't know, he's getting with the, the gang culture in Manchester, I think.
I think he got to the Etihad on his skateboard as well, I'm led to believe.
I think it might have been a blacked out Volkswagen Golf.
No, what happened to your side? I mean, it is a massive shock. I didn't expect lightning to strike twice, and it clearly did. What was the major problem, do you think?
Well, to be honest, as soon as I seen the team sheet, I thought, what is he doing? You know, there's resting 6 players, 7 including Yaya, who, quite frankly, might as well have brought his iPad, plunked himself in a deck chair in the centre circle and done a bit of shopping while he was there. To rest 6 players against the form team in the Championship, who won 6 in a row or something, was kind of asking for it. You know, if you change 3 of your back 4 and the keeper, it was asking for a bit. But then again, you know, we never turned up again. After, it seems to be that every time we put in a great performance, like after the Tottenham game or the Arsenal game or that, and we get good press, we just blow it the next game. I mean, can there be a bunch of players who believe their own hype sometimes? You know what I mean? I don't know. It's crazy.
Well, when you look, I agree with what you're saying to an extent, but when you look at the starting lineup, still Guerrero and Negredo, Nasri Garcia, Torre, Navas, Clichy, Lescott, Demichelis and Richards, and Pantillion on a goal. For my money, that's still a side that should be winning a game like this.
Well, no, of course, but you know, I mean, it's obvious why the players that don't play every week don't play every week. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I mean, making 3 or 4 is bad enough, but making 6 is. I mean, both your first choice fullbacks. I mean, he's fallen into that trap now of where he's putting out a team with the next game in mind. You know, and to be honest, I mean, is anybody expecting us to get anything at Barcelona?
Well, I'd
have played the other way round. You know what I mean?
I was going to ask you about. Do you think he underestimated them, so played a weakened team, or do you think he was looking ahead to the Barca game, so then rested some players? Was it a bit of both, or?
I mean, it's a bit of both. Why he's resting company is beyond me. I mean, we do lack leaders at the best of times, let alone in an FA Cup game. And there's all the thing about when we won the Capital One Cup last week. The players were saying, "Oh, we're going to get revenge," and Vinny was saying, "Well, we'll see a reaction, the confidence this trophy will give us." And he rests all those players. I mean, you're resting half the team. I don't know. I just thought it was a bit. I thought it was a bit arrogant, to be honest. When you've got the form team in the Championship coming to your stadium, I thought it lacked a little bit of respect for them as well, I think.
Where does this leave Pellegrini in the fans' minds? Because I know he's picked up the trophy, and that's a big trophy, a big one for you, and a big one for him. But question marks at this stage of the season are now starting to be asked, and I wonder if you're starting to have doubts whether Pellegrini's got the answers.
Although it's his team, it's not his squad. I mean, he's only been there. Look, he's been there 5 months or whatever it is. You know what I mean? No one's going to get on his case yet. You know, yesterday is probably his worst decision making of the season, and he's already put a trophy on the table. So it ain't that bad. You know what I mean? But I mean, I guess if he was 4 years into the job and there was all his squad players, then I guess questions would be asked. But I don't think anybody will be asking questions just yet.
Is it enough, Noel, if this is the only thing that happens to you this season? If all you do is win the Capital One Cup, you finish 2nd or 3rd and you get beat by Barca, is that enough? Is that failure?
I wouldn't say it'll be failure in the fans' eyes. It'll be crushingly disappointing after a season of so much promise. After that kind of 15-game period in the middle where we went unbeaten and that, it would be very, very disappointing. But we're not out of it yet. We win all our games, we win the league, you know, and nobody's saying we will win all our games, but we're quite capable of it. You know, if we go out against Barcelona, which is probable, you know, we've got nothing left to play for apart from the league. So we're in a pretty good position there. So all's not lost, but I guess if you were to say to City fans at the beginning of the season after sacking Mancini, you know, a guy will come in and we'll win a trophy, would have probably all accepted that. But, you know, if you're asking me after, you know, sitting talking to you after the Tottenham away game when we annihilated them, if you was to say to me, we'd end up with just the Capital One trophy, you'd think you're pretty disappointed, but not angry, do you know what I mean? I don't think anybody would be calling for his head.
Listen, we know the season's long, and we know that there can be dips in the form, but at the beginning of the season, you guys were in and out again. Then there was a period of real consistency. Your away form wasn't great, but a real consistency at home. And all of a sudden, Chelsea have beaten you. Obviously, Bayern was exceptional, but Barca, all right, down to those circumstances. But I just want to know, at this period, is there a lack of consistency about Man City that could really derail their season?
Well, yeah, I mean, let's be fair, you know, we weren't brilliant against Sunderland.
No, you weren't.
In the Cup of the week. No. I mean, it's been coming for a while, do you know what I mean? It was just, you know, you did, like, our dip in form, which we've dropped 30%, has seen Chelsea rise 30%. So as we've dropped off, they've kind of gone up a bit, and it makes it look more exaggerated than it is. I still think it's really, really close. I still think on our day we can beat anybody. And it's just, you know, Aguero looks like he's not played for a bit. Do you know what I mean? And I don't, for the life of me, how can you rest Silva and Fernandinho? Do you know what I mean? When those two players have got, I mean, Fernandinho was bought because he's got a great engine. You know, I can't. If we were still in with a shout against Barcelona, it was 0-0 or something, or we were 1-0 up, then yes, you'd think, well, of course, you know what I mean? But we win that game yesterday. We win the cup because we would have beat Arsenal at Wembley because we play well in the big games. It's very, very, very frustrating, and I don't understand the decision making behind it because, you know, if we're 3-0 down against Barcelona at half time, you know, it's all been for nothing, and we could have put another trophy on the table, you know.
I mean, results can turn seasons, can change the way you think. If you were to go out, and let's be honest, expect to go out against Barcelona, the pressure that's on to go and win and perform against Hull, all of a sudden that ramps up a gear. And I don't doubt that Man City can go unbeaten for the rest of the season. But all of a sudden now, any slip up, and that you mentioned about being magnified, that gap at the top at Chelsea could again get even bigger. Well,
I think we can only afford to lose one game, maybe two max, and it cannot be against Arsenal or Liverpool. So, you know, you're right. Every game, we've done it before. We did it before when we had to win 6 games in a row to win the league, and that was and we had to play United, and that was they were massive, massive, massive nights, and those 6 games were, you know, seismic, and it can be done again because I think we're a better team now. But you know, Negredo's lost his form, and we had bad injuries. We've had bad injuries this season. We've had Vinny was out for 8 weeks, Nasri was out for months, Guerrero's been in and out, and we've had some bad injuries. But we're still in there. I still think we can do it. I still think the ball is in Chelsea's court. I still think they've got the edge because they've done the double over us. And I still go back to those 5 points that we dropped earlier in the season when Joe Hart was being erratic. I still think that will eventually cost us. But, you know, you never know stranger things about them.
There was a report in the paper last week, I don't know if you saw it, a few of the English boys, City English boys, Milner, Richards, Lescott, were moaning that they weren't getting enough first-team football, which is why they perhaps weren't playing enough at international level. Is that a problem, not having as many English players playing in Man City? I mean, surely you want sort of homegrown players playing for the club, or not? What's your view on that?
For me personally, I don't care where they come from, or if they've got a Mancunian accent, or they're from, the Ivory Coast or anywhere, you know what I mean? As long as they give it 100% when they put the shirt on, I don't really... We've been through 40 years of local lads playing, never really getting anywhere, do you know what I mean? So it doesn't bother me, but in games... I mean, you seen when Milner come on yesterday, he fired up the team because he knew what it meant, do you know what I mean? I'm not saying the other players don't know what it means, but I don't really think any of the other players like Joey and Michael Richards and Jack Rodwell can really have many complaints because, I mean, they've played. You don't not play players because they're brilliant. You know what I mean? I mean, nobody's that insane. I'll say it's slightly insane to play Tim Michaelis because he ain't brilliant, but I don't think none of them are playing because they're great.
If you do go on and don't win anything from now on the end of the season, do you think you could look back at that signing of Di Michaelis and the persistent playing and the blind spot that Pellegrini has with him as a big factor?
A friend of mine was with Rossley yesterday after the game, and because he goes to City, we kind of know him. I wasn't nice to him myself, but mate was there, and he said he went out to target him. He said he sent his players out to run at him all day, and that's going to happen from now until the end of the season. And you're going to get those teams who are fighting relegation who are going to come to City, and we're going to have to go to these teams, you know, where they are going to put it on him, you know, and I don't know, we could do with him getting injured, couldn't we? Seriously though.
Well, do you think he'll be playing on Wednesday night? Of course, away to Barcelona. That game,
I think
he's suspended. Of course, he got red carded in that one. Are you going to that, by the way? No,
you're
going.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So, do you know why? To be quite honest, to do with the lying, kids driving me mad.
You won't sleep out there.
Yeah, can you imagine? How's your day look? What time's your flight? And what are you doing when you get there?
Get there about 4:30. I don't know what we're going to do. It'll be a good laugh, though. Let me tell you that.
And are you staying over, or are you flying back in the morning?
I'm staying over.
Oh, okay. I suppose.
Yeah.
I suppose your state, they probably won't allow you back onto a plane.
Yeah, no, I'm back by the end of April, I think, by the time I get back.
But you know what, Noel? Listen, Barcelona themselves, you know, listen, we know how good they are. We've seen that. But if you get
they got beat. They got beat the weekend again.
They did get beat. So I think the first goal is crucial. If they get it, it's good night, nurse. If you get it, it's game on. And there's no reason to say with the strike power you have, and you know as well as I do, this Man City side can score against anyone in world football. If you get that first goal, it is game on.
Of course. I mean, I said to you last time, the score at the Etihad really changed a lot. It just meant that we have to score first.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if we go in, if we score first, the 30 minutes after that will be amazing. We can go in at half-time, and it's a strange thing to say. We only have to draw an aggregate 3-3, do you know what I mean? And, I mean, listen, I'm going out with a few of us. No, but we're going there more in hope than expectation and just not to get him, take a bit of pride out of the game, do you know what I mean? But you never know. Stranger things have happened.
Yeah, true. All right, well, listen, if you do get the result, I was going to say, you come back on, but you probably won't be in a fit state even as soon as the whistle blows, yeah. Maybe we'll just get you on to shout.
Yeah, I could probably be speaking fluent Spanish by the time I get back.
Listen, thank you for coming on. Before I let you go, is one of your little kids up? Because I can hear, nursery rhyme music in the background. Are they still awake?
Or is that you, Noel?
Is that the new album played?
I was just going to say that's my missus listening to the demos.
There you go, an exclusive, everyone.
Yeah,
get out the bag.
Yeah. Brilliant, that,
no, you start listening. Enjoy the game. So a quick prediction. What do you think actually will happen at the end of it? A game, by the way, which can be heard live on Talksport. There you go.
At the new camp, I think we'll win the game, but I don't think we'll go through.
Okay, all right. I'll put you down. I'll put you down as 1-0 then. How about
that? I mean, maybe a 1-0. I don't see us getting beat, but I don't see us going through. If you know what I mean.
Okay, all right.
First goal.
Enjoy it, and have one for me and Joe, and we'll speak to you soon.
Cheers, Noel.
I'll see you later. See you in a bit.
Cheers, pal.
Bye.